Good evening, everyone. Welcome to part two of our show. Yes, we are at a very critical time in our history where we actually have to pool together our resources and figure out how to do what we need to do to build this democracy and to help retain our republic. Right now, it's currently under attack, as you know. We've talked about how the first, second, and fourth amendments have been attack virtually. Our right to assembly, First Amendment rights, a right to post on YouTube, that's been affected. You're seeing
an article published by Global Research on March.
You're seeing constant censorship, and then you've got Second Amendment rights being threatened by the possibility of 5G networks being weaponized because there's been no testing, and then you've got Fourth Amendment rights, them sticking you with a needle. And I can only remember back when I was just a little kid, and our great president John F. Kennedy spoke about the dangers of secret societies and how they were poised to attack us then. And they were just getting their teams in order at that point. The Nazis had never been defeated from World War II, and I don't think that JFK knew that. When he wrote the secret society speech and delivered it in front of the American people, it was a momentous event, and I was only 1 year old when that happened. Yeah, welcome everybody. So, yeah. Hillary is going to try to DDoS me? Okay, well, everybody's tried me. The Russians have tried DDoSing me. We just got DDoSed. That's why part two starts, and we record these shows and upload them to the internet. So if you are constantly looking for entertainment, you can always go to our old shows. Go to coolrock.com and click the left button at the top. That's my YouTube channel, and you can watch up to 30,000 hours of broadcast funness. Yeah, so yeah, it's a good thing I'm speaking out for the free people in the country, and I want everyone to know that when people troll me, they're only paving the way to hell. You know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but trolls are paved with bad intentions. They're going to hell faster. It's like lubricating the road to hell. So you're on your way to the fiery bowels of satanic hell by trolling me. You don't realize it, but that's what's happening. Okay, so why are they spraying, fumes in the sky above us? Everyone wants to know. I want to know. You want to know? What are they spraying in the sky? We don't know how safe it is. We don't know what's in it. We know that this is metals of various kinds, heavy metals like barium and aluminum, strontium, selenium. But now the question is, are they spraying germs on us? And because they don't want to do any testing, and Trump won't order any testing, he can't even figure out what a test kit is. Yeah, the COVID-19 test kits are only Q-tips that go right in the back of your head. No, thank you. I'm waiting for the new improved ones to come out. But yeah, they're willing to spray anything, and we don't know what it is. So how do we know it's not chemtrails? They know now. They're spraying by drones, major cities. They're saying if it's a disinfectant. Okay, cool. They're going to spray all the people in the world, and they're going to say, yeah, we're just trying to disinfect you. So it's a perfect cover. They create this retrovirus or whatever it is. It's not a retrovirus. It's actually a mutating RNA messenger unit that's flying all over the place, turning into various viruses. And like I said earlier, this virus is mutating. So it's been a long time since our great president, it talked about if you're awaiting a finding of clear and present danger, then I can only say that the danger has never been more clear and its present has never been more imminent. Now that's what got John F. Kennedy killed. Now, if you or any of you are concerned about what our country's turned into and why we need to move forward toward a better country, and you remember the great president we used to have, you'll have one thing on your mind tonight, and that is that he said those fateful words. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. But no, seriously, we are now dealing with the reality that this guy who lived took on the worst possible people and he died. We never got any real closure. Remember when we talked about closure? We never got any real closure from the Warren Commission report, and Donald Trump refuses to release the information that came out in 2018. It should have been released. I do like Led Zeppelin. Yeah, one of my favorite things I used to say when I used to go to restaurants back in the 60s or 70s and 80s was Zeppelin Party of Two, please. I was reading David's tarot cards, really. Oh, how nice. Thanks, Preparation H. But you were actually looking at the label of your Preparation H container. New York is going too far, huh? Yeah. Lean coding? Yeah, we don't get that stuff. Yeah, you trying to drop malware into my computer? What are you, a freak? Oh man, I'm running like 5 layers underneath tremendous scanners. You can't get through me. That guy just tried to drop malware in an executable file on my computer. Isn't that unreal? Oh, okay. Well, this is not placenta spray. This is fruit enzyme. Let's listen in to the Secret Society speech for just a bit, because I think it's very important that we listen to our former president right now, when we've got a dimwit for a president in the form of Donald Trump. Okay? You don't mind? Thank you. I'm David Sponheim, and I support this message. I'm David Sponheim, and I support this message.
Danger has never been more clear, and its presence has never been more imminent. It requires a change in outlook, a change in tactics, a change in missions by the government, by the people, by every businessman or labor leader, and by every newspaper. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day.
So we have to really look at what he did for our country and ask ourselves, how can we be better? Because this is the most important time for our nation to step up. This is the time when true Americans must think about the future of this country. And this is a time when we all have to ask ourselves, are we going to let these elitists control the two-party system, control the Supreme Court, control Congress, who are easily bought off with offers of money from the Federal Reserve, while we get buried financially as a nation by their indescribable irresponsible acts like borrowing up to $6 trillion right now and then giving it out to only 58 million Americans? I looked at the numbers, guys. Most people won't get any of that money. Only 58 million Americans filed tax returns last year because unemployment is really, really bad, and you've been thinking it's 4% all along. You've been lied to by your president and all of his cronies. And now he's pretending like he's doing something to stop something by shutting our economy down. Our nation is under attack by not only the incompetence of Donald Trump's administration, which seems to be working for oligarchs and protecting very powerful powers, the same powers that John F. Kennedy warned us about, but they're literally going to try to stick us all with needles and force vaccinate upon the whole culture when we don't even have a serious problem. And the hoax factor is so huge, I've been saying it on my other shows, that you can't even begin to look at this as anything but an attack. So the 90% fear factor that is being played out in America is designed to take away our rights. That's what's happening. And Donald Trump won't even call a spade and won't even say, hey, this is what's going on. He won't even call the virus a bioweapon, because if he did, he'd be caught in kind of a legal entanglement, because he'd have to prove it's a bioweapon by simply showing off 2 web pages to the American people, which I gladly show people whenever they need to know. I mean, we don't have to get too far into our history file to look up bioweapon and get a couple of good links. Yeah. Now, we have a top microbiologist who testified to the idea that this is bioengineered, but he wouldn't commit to it being a bioweapon, Dr. Paul Cottrell. But Francis Boyle, he basically, the top guy under George H.W. Bush's administration, said this has all the earmarks of a bioweapon. And a bioweapons expert has said that, Miss Francis Boyle. So we've got a couple people who are top-level authorities making sure that we know this is a potential bioweapon. So why is Donald Trump avoiding the words? Because a bioweapon is extremely dangerous. And maybe he doesn't want anyone to freak out. Well, the story really is relevant, Rodney, because this weapon, this virus, which has been mutated, two SARS, bat SARS viruses, have been mutated, formed together. There's 23,000 elements in the endonucleus, which is the bat SARS-KY, and then there's another remaining up to about 33,000 particular chains in this neuropeptide. In this actual virus is structured in a way that has an S curve on it that is constantly mutating. So if you can imagine wandering hand syndrome. Have you seen people with wandering hand syndrome? I noticed that Mike Pence is getting it. Whenever Mike Pence and Donald Trump talk, they use their hands. They're very demonstrative. It's like, oh, yes, and this is real. You know, the more they lie, the more they use their hands. I noticed a direct correlation. Whenever they talked about the million test kits, isn't that right? Oh, we've got 4 million test kits. I could tell they were lying, and now they won't even admit that they're just Q-tips. So these guys are all moving their hands. Well, wandering arm syndrome is kind of like the S chain on this particular virus, which also came from a bat SARS. So this is really the SARS virus. They're calling it coronavirus, but it's really SARS. But what's most deadly about this is it does kind of wiggle around, and it mutates. And because it mutates, it could never have a vaccine, ever. Because it has the ability to constantly change in the population, they say up to 40 different variants are out there right now. It is not a thing that we can get a vaccine for. But there are some great antiviral drugs that will, no problem, kick it in its butt. So chloroquine is not it. The side effects of chloroquine are too dangerous to deal with. Addiction, a series of serious side effects along with addiction, but most of all, it can kill you. It can cause arrhythmia. So if you're not under a doctor's care and you're getting chloroquine because Donald Trump says it's really good and I think it should be really good, you're probably in danger because doctors have to regulate your heart and have to have you hooked up to at least equipment to analyze arrhythmia. I mean, this is common sense stuff, folks. But there are some antivirals that are really looking good. No, talking with your hands is a lying behavior. I don't lie, so I don't talk with my hands. Thank you. I was just demonstrating what Donald Trump and Mike Pence are doing now. It's the new technique. And I guess they're all using their hands. Ever since the Democrats used their hands during the debates in 2016, where they looked like a bunch of hyenas or clowns, everyone is following suit. No, we're listening to the scientists, and they're saying this is a bioengineered virus, at the very least. Now, being it's bioengineered, that means that it is potentially dangerous for anybody to get it, but your immunity is going to kick its ass, so what's the problem? So now our policy in America should be building immunity, not keeping you in your house. So what I'm going to order as President of the United States, if I can get there sooner than later, that'd be great. Maybe I can solve the problem. So if Donald, if you're listening, you may want to make me the vice president. So Mike looks a little bit peaked. He might, not make it. God forbid. God forbid. But Mike is a little bit, and he can't respond to the American people like I can. Mike doesn't have a personality. Mike Pence can't connect with the American people. That's the sad thing about Mike Pence. Now, if you are listening, Donald, if you're listening, get me in the vice president position right now, so if anything happens, at least we got a safety net with a good guy who can save this nation. Because I don't know if we're going to make it 6 months. 6 weeks and we're going to see food shortages in Pennsylvania. They're already happening. There's major shortages of food throughout the Southeast and the Midwest. We're not even getting feeds from it yet, but we will very soon. All right, so in lieu of that reality, the best thing for us to do is work towards something like a tablet as opposed to a vaccine, because vaccines will never fly. And no one wants to have a chip like COVID ID created by some nutcase named Bill Gates, who simply has got dirt on him from Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, the last thing I want is a guy I can trust or I can't trust like this guy. Oh, we don't have Bill Gates right now? I think that came in earlier. Yeah. I had to drop my load here. Let me pull it up. I didn't mean drop my load as in, I'm not like defecating. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It could be like Idiocracy. I could be sitting here and, I like money. You like money too? Yeah, I'm not that way, by the way. So the Queen has chosen to put the 5G towers...
I got a bunch of money too.
Oh, I like money. Yeah. I like money, though. I like money. I like money.
I like money.
Can't believe you like money, too.
So the Queen has chosen to put the 5G tower right on the 20-pound note. Isn't that amazing? So they already had this in the works. So they want to add 5G. Apparently, a lot of people like money. This movie's out, Contagion. I'm going to try to watch it. 2011, they talked about this kind of thing that's going on right now. Healthcare professionals, government officials, and everyday people find themselves in the midst of a pandemic as the CDC works to find a cure. Yeah, I suppose. Matt Damon's in that. It's pretty cool. Okie dokie. Yeah, I'm going to try to find, real quick, the picture of Bill Gates. You probably have it right now for me. Yeah, it's a good one. No, we don't have it. Yeah, maybe you could send that again. David, sorry to hear about you pooping your pants. I didn't have a problem. I'm just saying, I said I was going to drop the load, and I didn't mean, the wording just doesn't sound right. Check it out, Dave. People are setting fire to 5G towers. Yeah, we saw that the other day. Yeah. But again, that's not going to work out for you because we already received your threat. And your server is from the Philippines. You're operating out of a Philippine server. I don't check IPs, I just know that. Okay? Your IP, I don't check IPs. Yeah, we know what you're doing. And by the way, we can bounce right back at you. Back at you, buddy. Yeah, my system is set up to actually process any threat that comes in my computer, even if I click a link. Bill Gates on the Epstein jet, same year, engineer arrested at Gates' house for child abuse porn. What am I going to make of this? What do we do with something like this? Yeah, we just volley the serve right back at you. You got malware coming, we know where you're at. You send me things, your IP is registered on this computer. I don't follow or track IPs whatsoever. So Bill Gates apparently was on Epstein's jet in 2013 when his chief media engineer was arrested for having 6,500 pictures of child pornography. Yeah, I logged a threat, that's right. Threat has been logged. We had a person try to send in malware just a second ago. Who are you dressed as? I'm just a working man. I work nonstop, now over 100 hours a week, for free. I've been working nonstop for 12 years for free. Donald Trump, who knows what this means, but it sounds good to me. My next piece is called Nothing Can Stop What's Coming. Wow. That's a heavy tweet, man. And it's too bad all of you don't realize that you have so much potential to build this third party. I mean, my goodness. There's a lot of traps out there on the internet that are trying to suck you in right now. There's one being orchestrated by what appears to be anonymous. They're routing through what appears to be an operation through 153 News. And you got to admit that, anybody who's so vulnerable that they can't put a video camera on their server has got some real issues about vulnerability. And when 153 News went down and then magically came back up again, I got a little bit suspicious. So if you hear other people trying to build a political coalition and have you put signs on their door, don't go with it. You know me, I've been running for 12 years. I'm not some new startup guy who's trying to have you put a sign on your door. Bear in mind, these people are trying to target you. If there's somebody out there trying to ask you to put a sign on your door, don't do it. Don't do it, please. Because what they're trying to do is sucker you in. Now, I respect 153news.net, and I certainly the work that they're doing, but come on, man. You lose a server, you have a $16 camera on your server. If somebody steals your server, you got a picture of what's going on in a secure location. So, I mean, if you start up that fast after saying it's all over, it reeks of federal involvement. It reeks of federal involvement. So if Anonymous wants to route shows through that network, they're going to try. And they're a CIA operation. It's been developed to be counterintelligence and possibly COINTELPRO, basically. Controlled opposition. So what do you want to find here? I wanted to find the picture of Bill Gates. Yeah.
Researchers at Washington State University are recruiting people to help them track a new invasive
Dr. Richard
species.
Findlay is an electromagnetic field safety specialist, and he's going to be measuring the strength and frequency of the radio waves at different distances from the mast. So first we're going to put the probe right up on the middle of the transmitter.
Yes,
okay,
that's right.
Let's go for it.
Middle, come down.
And your maximum reading was
550.
551.6%. So basically, if you were to strap yourself to that transmitter 3 meters up there, you'd be getting 5 times the guidelines.
Yes, you'd be overexposed.
Okay, but no one's going to do that.
No.
Okay, so shall we go over there, which is, what would you say, there's 2 or 3 meters in that direction and see?
Okay, so these guys are checking the dangerous levels. I found the picture. Thank you for giving me some help there. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you an important announcement. Everything in the media is actually not true. Okay, now, here is the picture. I showed it to you earlier, just now. It says it all,
Dr.
really.
Andy Bukacek.
It says it all. I'm looking at Bill Gates, who doesn't want to talk about his strange past with the child pornography charges at his residence. Won't talk about his affiliation with Jeffrey Epstein, but somehow he's magically coming up with solutions for all of us. Well, I got news for you, folks. This is very serious. He wants to stick ID 2020 in people that are COVID recipients to make sure that they're vaccinated. This guy has got serious dirt on him, if that's the case. They control people with Jeffrey Epstein. We know for a fact that Jeffrey Epstein was used to control rich politicians, rich people. This guy he's been compromised. That alone is a big red flag. The fact that he went to Jeffrey Epstein's house on Lolita Express at least 3 times that we know of, without even answering questions by the media, is a very big red flag. So we need to work this up to a fever. And now the question about it, if you think about it, the same person that believes the earth is overpopulated, wants to save your life with a vaccine. Go figure. Yeah, how is that possible? The same person who believes the earth is overpopulated wants to save your life with a vaccine. Come on, folks. We're not that out of it. This does not look good. So their attempt to push ID 2020 will be the end of them. and the beginning of a brand new America, really, when you think about it. Because what we're going through, and this building of this third party, is akin to a revolution, except it's totally within the guidelines of nonviolence and political expression. And we're using the online experience to build this party. Now, all you have to do right now is remember to vote for me, David Sponheim, as a write-in candidate. That's all you have to do. Now, I'm not officially a write-in candidate in every state, but there is no law that can supersede equal protection under the law. And I can fight using equal protection under the law, a Supreme Court case saying that if I get enough write-in candidacies across the nation, I will be your president. We have the legal constitutional law behind us. The Equal Protection Clause supersedes state law when it comes to them allocating access to the presidency. So if states want to throw barriers like write-in requirements, they're absolutely illegal, based on the simple fact that I deserve equal protection of the law as Donald Trump or Joe Biden does. And as you can see, Joe Biden doesn't really have a brain left to talk about really how he's going to launch forward his campaign. His best shot for the presidency is to get me on board with him, or Donald Trump for that matter. Whoever chooses me as the vice president will win the election. So they got a choice. If Biden wants to go for some ridiculous woman, that's a big mistake, and the Democrats will lose to Trump. All the fraud allegations haven't materialized. They're leaving Biden in play because they definitely know that he's got a problem talking.
My name's Joe Biden. I'm running for, in this case, running for President of the United States. Look me over. If you like what you see, help out. If not, vote for the other person.
I just spoke at Dartmouth on health care at the medical school, or not, I guess I wasn't actually on the campus, but the people from the medical school were at the, I want to be clear. I'm not going nuts. I'm not sure whether it was a medical school or where the hell I spoke, but it was on the campus.
Okay, dude. Whatever. Oh, thank you. Folks, don't click any of the links from the unknown people in this room, whatever you do. We are being hard attacked right now with all kinds of malware. Yeah, I'm going to put this in tonight's run. I just got to talk. I got to see him bumble for it. You know, and he's not a bad guy. There's no pedo dirt on him. Nobody's ever alleged charged him with any pedophilia. It's just the things he says to people are just so inappropriate. Even the way he bites his wife's hand when she holds her hand out and he bites it. The guy's just kooky. Okay? I mean, kind of kooky cracky in a weird kind of kooky cracky kind of way. He's Joe Biden. What could I say, man? But I'm not going to apologize for the guy. But what we have right now with Joe Biden being the front runner in the Democratic Party is the only guy who's going to challenge Donald Trump in a way that Donald Trump speaks. Lies incessantly whenever he has to. But this is a takeover of our country, and if Trump is going to do this, we got to at least get somebody who can stop him. So I would hope that Biden would choose me as his vice president. Thank you. All right, moving on to the next question. Trump is equal to Nero. He's playing the violin as Rome burns. And yeah, the guy who wants to get rid of the human race, or I should say depopulate the race, the eugenicist named Bill Gates, he wants to hit you with a COVID ID 2020. So yeah, this is a very important meme that Misanthropy brought us. Think, the same person that believes the earth is overpopulated wants to save your life. Yeah, sure. Okay, poor Bill. Whatever dirt they've got on him, they certainly are keeping him in a tight rope. So the two parties are wasting our money. We spend out huge amounts of money. Tomorrow we'll talk about the budget and all the terrible costs this incredibly ridiculous overreaction is costing us, including the shutdown of our economy. We're looking at possibly a $20 to $30 trillion hit, including the $30 trillion debt that we have if they keep the economy shut down much longer. Donald Trump made the worst error of his career, shutting the economy down. I don't even see how you Trump supporters could stand here and go, well, I think Mr. Trump is making a good decision because we all should stay safe from each other. No, Donald Trump didn't make the decision. He wasn't even told. This is a live exercise.
You may have listened to this video already, but I want you to listen again. This time I have a little better sound, and I want you to pay very close attention to what he says. Pompeo says this is a live exercise. And what you'll hear in the background is Donald Trump say, "You should have let us know." So again, I'm going to let it play over a couple times so you can hear it. It's very interesting. Take a listen.
This is not about retribution. This matters going forward. We're in a live exercise here to get this right. We need to make sure that even we're in a live exercise here to get this right. We're in a live exercise here to get this right.
You should have let us know. You should have let us know. What the hell is this about it? I don't care about Jerry. I just want to know what the hell. If Jerry did it, I want to know who Jerry is. But yeah, we grabbed this. Thankfully, you guys, Scissor Fight, you're incredible. You got a copy of this. And we got this guy saying, you should have let us know. So why would our president, representing us, the American people, want to engage in a live exercise where we're all locked up in our house? Am I getting through to some of you Republicans? Because seriously, this guy is taking us down a very dark road. Whatever reason they're sticking 5G while we're sitting here doing nothing in our schools, that's suspicious in and of itself. The very fact that Donald Trump is not championing any plan to check for safety of the 5G network is another very serious issue. The fact that Donald Trump lied about the COVID test kits when they're only Q-tips is a very serious issue. So yeah, we're like loaded with serious issues right now, and he won't even admit it's a bioweapon. And he wants us to live in fear and hide in our house and then watch our rights taken away? What's next? Exactly, Casper. So you guys have to understand, this third party is so important. If you think this is all about me, I'm willing to risk my life for this country. If this is about me, then I'm sorry, but I don't consider that possible when a person like me has been doing this for 12 years for free in a selfless manner, and you think for a second that I'm doing it about me. It just blows my mind to think that that's what some people think. This is about us, okay? It's about keeping our nation together and keeping our First, Second, and Fourth Amendment rights intact. So if you are a person who believes in the Constitution, you have to be aware that Donald Trump and William Barr are trying to execute orders to abolish the Constitution or suspend it right now. This is a serious time we're living in. When this becomes the order of the day, well, just to be clear, none of this matters if there's a virus. I don't think so. So if you believe in America and you believe in the future of this country, you better start thinking about leaving your party because they have abandoned you. And I'm here to protect this nation from the dangers of the most cruel people on earth. They wouldn't hesitate to kill any one of us. Any one of us would be wiped out in a second. These people would put us to that point where the Jews were when they were being walked off in the concentration camps. It's a scary, scary thing, yeah. Okay, Dave, I don't think you qualify here anymore. I'm going to mute you for a while, but if you want to come back, you can't talk about a flat earth, dude. Poor D. Chappelle, man. He's so gone. It's just like, tweet, 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 tweet. No, there's no flat earth. We've got a real round earth, and you should be happy you have it. Yeah. Okay, so we're here all the way into the evening, 1 o'clock. I'm going to go watch a little bit of Views. I guess we're going to be doing more of Ozark tonight. We got Trump Tardican as our strong, ready-to-go mod, and Meta-Nemesis as a guy who's laid back but still can handle the room. And I thank you for your effort, Trump Tardican. And you know I don't carry a grudge about people who support Donald Trump because the guy stole 15 of my ideas. You still have your core philosophy is intact with me running for president. Don't think for a second this guy who's in a live exercise really is even remotely helping you. And he's not stopping the deep state. He's had numerous opportunities to level charges against Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden any number of people, but he hasn't done anything except try to take away our rights. Yeah, there's no question about what's happening when the DOJ wants to suspend our constitutional rights, folks. We're walking down a very lonely road of just the American people trying to fight this battle without the help of the media, because they've censored me for the past 10 years, 12 years. Without the help of anybody in moneyed interests, they won't throw money at this effort, so we're doing this for free. You got to understand, this is not some mild thing. This is serious. When they're willing to stop me, censor me, shut me down, try to stop this message from happening, there is a real need for all of us to talk about the importance of a third party now. Many of you have been on the edge, and I think you're about ready to slip over to the middle of the political spectrum and realize people who are Democrats were fooled into thinking cap and trade would help our country. It's not going to help at all. Innovation will help our country. Cap and trade will tax you. The Democrats have been way too spendy, and now the Republicans are now way too spendy, so we are wasting our future, and the future of your kids are really in question right now if we continue going down the same pathway, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So keep in there, hang in there, try to realize that this is not a live exercise in my mind. This is a nightmare for all of us. Thank you. And thanks for being a good mod, Trump Tardican. And we're trying to put all of our differences behind us here when we move forward. I'm not going to rail on you for voting for Donald Trump or Barack Obama. I really can't afford to do that now. We're in a situation where we actually have to figure out what's going on. This just came in. The bodies of Robert F. Kennedy's granddaughter have been found, but not the son, or I don't know. Let's take a look. Body of Robert F. Kennedy granddaughter found after Maryland canoeing accident. Wow. Robert F. Kennedy's granddaughter, folks, and her son who died. But we haven't found the son. The body of the daughter has been recovered in 25 feet of water. They're going to keep searching for the son who went missing. Okay. Wow, that's such a sad thing for the Kennedys to lose such another. You know, the Kennedys have been marked with such loss that we owe it to ourselves to at least address the most important issues facing the country back in 1960, and that was Robert F. Kennedy's Secret Society speech. So let's not forget how important this is, folks. He died for our country to build a backup plan, a safety net against this overtaking authoritative control of a cabal, an internal cabal. And if you don't understand that, and you didn't live during that time period, realize that the people of this country were so shaken by the death of John F. Kennedy that people cried for days after he died. So, very tragic. I'm still affected by it. So if you guys who want to support us, feel free to keep stepping up. But you people who don't, good luck, because this is a real bad thing that's happening in America right now. Yeah, I'm sad by the whole thing. I get teary-eyed when I think about the loss of John F. Kennedy. I really do. And now his grandson, or his great-grandson. Okay, this one last thing, Instagram came in. Bill Gates is now being outed by none other than Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Look at this. He's coming after him. Yay. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says, when you think you got a handle on the vaccine system, corruption. Bill Gates declares large public gatherings may not return at all until we have a vaccine that we've gotten out to basically the entire world. Wow. So they won't allow us to have free speech until they get a vaccine in everybody? Uh-huh. Thank you, Robert F. Kennedy, very much for at least making us aware of that. Wow. I cried when John F. Kennedy died. I did. And I was only 3 years old. Everyone around me was crying. It's still sad to realize that the mob killed John F. Kennedy, not Lee Harvey Oswald. That's why Trump won't release any data on Lee Harvey Oswald. Lee Harvey Oswald worked for the CIA for 5 years, and that was never brought up in the Warren Commission report. That alone would make you realize that the thing has been a cover-up from day one, and now the mob is trying to take out more Kennedys. I don't think that was an accident. I really don't. It's just something about the whole thing. I mean, she innocently went after her son's toy in the water, which theoretically could be a natural thing, but then all of a sudden the boat just drifted out to sea and then went around a cove and then disappeared. How do we know that there wasn't an underwater drone attached to it with a magnet that took it across the cove and out the way? Do you realize how easy it would be to deliver a drone to some remote bay in Hyannisport? I mean, it could have easily been hijacked by a drone with a magnet on it if it was a metal-based boat. I don't know. It just sounds too weird. All right. Thank you for coming in again. We'll be in late tonight till 1 in the morning, and I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to go watch some TV. Well, not TV, Netflix. Like you all should do as well. Enjoy your evenings. Try to get the most out of this tough time. We're trying to lower the curve and do the best we can, but I still believe they're faking all the stats. No question about it in my mind. And we know for a fact that the coroners are being told that everything is a COVID-19 death. We saw proof that Dr. Burke said, yes, anything like kidney damage or anything like that's all COVID-19. So they're padding the results to make it look like we really should be constantly in fear of what's coming. This is where they want us, living in fear, but we need to mobilize and keep spreading the word about a third party. And what I'm doing, which is to fight the Goliath of corporate America and the cabal that's controlling the two-party system. Thank you, everyone, for coming in. I'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. with your regular broadcast. And stay in till 1 o'clock. Enjoy the videos. We got a lot of them. Take care.
My Mr. Right, too good to be true.